Hello? We have a weird one in here. I don't know what he's up to.
It's Friday.
Okay. You leave in 9 minutes. Hello. Hello. How are you, Matt? Yeah, Hooded Sammy. Are you chilly or something?
No.
You gotta chill from outside? Working a lot, dude. We had a week.
You should show these off.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels so good to be Friday already, and it's kind of weird to be streaming today, but I'm into it. I really want to make this chowder with you guys. Oh, you're remodeling your bathroom. Fun. You've only streamed once this whole week? That's what happens, man. Life happens. And I guess the bathroom is more priority than streaming, right? It's not fun. You hate it? Well, why didn't you hire Sam and I then? Like, come on, Matt. You have two handy people at your disposal. Oh my gosh, Cookie. You had a tree fall in your driveway which blocked you in this morning, so you couldn't go to work? That's prime. Yeah, oh well. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. In the next couple of weeks. The basement of this place flooded from outside, so it's a basement suite, and they had to take up 4 foot of board. Like, you could see outside, and like walking down into the unit, there was like, what, at least 2 feet worth of water where it built up and then started like seeping in through the door. It's like, what? That's nuts. We did really good though the last 2 days, like so much insulation and drywall, but we did it. We just started that yesterday.
Look how much space that is.
It is a lot of area. It's a pretty big unit, like
Yeah.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and like a main living area. It's good though, good for us. Okay. It's good money, yeah, totally. And then we also got word of like 24 units that flooded last week, and they actually had to like rip up the road. The water was like coming out of the road. It broke underneath the concrete.
I have one more photo to share.
Okay, Sam has one more photo.
This was the first lighting of the large big green egg.
That was on our patio in Vancouver.
November.
Oh, pouring rain.
I'm not yet. The bowl's in my hand.
Yeah, he's almost there. Yeah, woohoo, Cookie. Yeah, 24 units. I have to leave the stream for it to focus on anything you need. Otherwise, it's like, this is Kate's stream. I only focus on Kate.
It's meant to.
Yeah. Purdy. Okay, so Pacific Rim Chowder from, as you could see if you saw in the title, Redfish Bluefish. So that is, I can't really call it a food truck. So where this spot is located is, it's inside of a recycled shipping container. So sea cans. They have 2 small ones, and they set these up like right on the wharf on the water. So like it's right on the dock, and they cook out of the sea cans, which is so, so cool. So that's another option as well instead of a food truck. You left your piece in your pocket and came to work today. You're like, what stinks? Matt, bad. I'm surprised no one asked you. Okay, so this is where this recipe is from, and they actually just had their last day of service for the season yesterday. And lucky for us is things just worked out, and we were working like right by there. So Sam went and got us some fish and chips for lunch from there, and I'm just gonna say this, guys, like I've had quite a few fish and chips in my life, but these are hands down the best.
How was your cod?
It was so good. Yeah, we got 2-piece cod and chips. You had Hallie, and you didn't even share.
You said you wanted cod.
You told me you were having cod. This guy. Yeah, dimed himself out. Well, I gotta go pick it up, so I'm gonna have halibut. The heck? This is what I get, guys.
God, relax.
He's just joking. Okay, so they work out of a shipping container, and obviously the chef was nice enough to share the recipe. And they were on a episode of Food Network Canada. The show is called Eat Street. So they go around to like a bunch of really good restaurants in Canada.
They were on that?
They were on Eat Street.
I did not
Yeah.
know that.
So what the person from the show says, he says, the Pacific Rim Chowder is simply the best soup we've ever had from a food truck or a shipping container. Locals consider this sophisticated twist on good old clam chowder ambrosia from the sea. So there is like some Thai influence in this dish. If we look at our lovely tray of ingredients that are going to be going into this, coconut milk and chowder, cilantro, canned tomatoes. There's even chipotles in adobo. We have coriander and cumin. So lots of Asian ingredients going into this, which is why it's called Pacific Rim Chowder. And then for seafood or shellfish, we have some shrimp from Zach, some pink salmon that I caught previously, some scallops from the store, so just like little base scallops to put in. Oh, and for like a nice little smoky aspect, I had some smoked oysters laying around, so I thought that would be an interesting thing to put in. So salmon, shrimp, scallop, smoked oysters. Because we already have like chipotles, which are a little bit smoky, so I thought that would be really yummy. So recipe is linked for you guys as well through the recipe command. Hi, Pedro. And so yeah, we actually ate there this year, the first day they opened and the last day they opened. Had to get it. Sometimes you just have a hankering for really good fish and chips, and it's seriously the best, like homemade tartar sauce and everything. Okay, so the recipe actually calls for like canned corn and parboiled potatoes. And we are not gonna use either of those things. I actually have a little bit of frozen corn, and we're gonna use like fresh Yukon Gold potatoes. Bye, Matt. Have a good ride home, man. And get a little bit of rest this weekend if you can. Don't kill yourself working on that bathroom. Okay, so basic soup instructions. I always like to start with the mirepoix. So onion, carrots, celery, and we'll dice those up nice and small, nice bite size, so that when we go to have a wonderful spoonful of this chowder, we get a little bit of everything in each bite. Then we can start working on cutting our potatoes. And that's pretty much it. This should be a pretty quick meal to put together. Obviously soup, we're still on the soup train. Couple more ingredients than our soup earlier this week, but it shouldn't take too long to make. You have to get it done this week. Holy Matt. Okay, and then before we start, we picked up breads. So we took a couple weeks off, but now we're back to having bread from Bradley, Beardo's Bakehouse. And we actually opted to not order the sweet pastry this week. And then we go to pick it up from his house and he's like, yeah, I threw you guys in a couple of pano raisins in. So it's like a pastry with raisins in it and then it's iced. He is insane. Like, is this not look perfect? Yeah, this is our like treat for the week. Yeah, yum for sure. Yeah, fresh bread is so good. And then, where's the, okay, this loaf looks so cool. This one sounded really good, so we had to try it. Milk and honey loaf. Oh yeah, this is also why we're making chowder today, is so that we can have some fresh bread with it. Look at this thing. What? It's so perfect. Look at the lines. Yeah. What indeed? This guy is a master. Master baker. Homemade bread. Yeah, exactly. An ex-cancer researcher who built a bakery in his house, and now that's all he does. Amazing. Okay, let's get started. We have Grandma's pot on the stove, ready to go. I'm just gonna put our tray of ingredients aside, and it's time to get chopping, guys. Oh, also, since it's Friday, I think we should probably crack a beer together. And if you're not into alcoholic beverages, water or juice is okay as well. Yeah, beverages. Fitbit? Yeah. Fitbit is getting bought by Google. Did everyone have a good week? How was everyone's Halloween yesterday? I just want to give this a quick wipe. Hey, Cleveland. Yeah, you had me at Crack a Beer. So I love your username, Cleveland Steamers, because in restaurant kitchens or professional kitchens is they have big steamers and the brand of the steamer is actually Cleveland. So
you put the beets in the Cleveland
yeah,
steamer?
so the rolling joke always was like, put it in the Cleveland steamer. And everyone's like, what? Had to.
Oh, streamers.
Oh! Well, I hope you enjoyed my story anyways, even though I cannot read. You got your Kool-Aid. Heck yeah, Crab. Lots of rain and wind for your Halloween. Not a lot of kids wanting candy. It was beautiful out yesterday, like 10 degrees Celsius, and we ran out of treats, which was crazy. So like over 75 kids, where last year I think we only had like 30. Pretty crazy. Whoa, what? Dog, gifting 5 subs out already? We haven't even started. Gift a sub Friday. Don't even start that. Thank you so much. Shiggity, Scaramouche, Dr. Tree, Backlash, and Harry. Welcome in, guys. Okay, what we feeling? We got a couple of different beers to choose from. Holy. Seriously? Thanks, Cookie. Yeah, Sammy said it. Gift the sub Friday. Welcome in, guys. Cleveland streamers. Oh no, I'm ready to poop. Yeah, so sweet. Hi, Mrs. Syntax. Welcome in, Coach Mix. Cookie. Thank you. You guys are bad together. Terrible influences on each other.
And Norges would
Yeah, Norges would crush it. Where is this label?
Him and I are so bad together.
Spread these out a bit. There we go. Okay, we have a black currant sour and also a sour peach guava. And some of you are probably like, this is not beer. But seriously, I love sour beers and they don't really hurt my stomach as much as drinking lagers and other ales. Custom brewskis, exactly. On the West Coast in Canada there's a lot of craft breweries. Is that beer? Exactly, I'm ready to poop. Things are great, Mrs. Syntax. It's good to be done work for the week, ready for the weekend, have a bunch of stuff to do, for my second time to try on wedding dresses tomorrow. Yeah, all is beer. So I think with chowder, probably because we have more Asian-y ingredients in this, I'm gonna go for the sour peach guava. Thank you for the follow as well, Cleveland streamers. How's Sammy? I love how you spell it like that because that's how I say it. Sam is good. You've been as far as Manitoba. Oh, you should have went farther. I mean, if you ever want to visit Vancouver Island, let me know. Hee hee. Yeah, Harry. Maple syrup bottle. Oh, it's not a bottle opener. I thought that was. So, category 12. Wow, just gets right into it. I was going to do a little reading first.
I just sniffed it. Still sniffy sniff.
A golden sour that epitomizes the bright ripeness of summer. Oh, I'm still holding on to summer, guys. No, I'm just kidding. It's long gone. But we can go back to summer. Bursting with luscious notes of peach and fresh guava that shine in harmony through a gentle tartness. Let's see how gentle this tartness is. Our exploration and experimentation of this style continues with this approachable and engaging flavor combination. Available for a short time and in limited quantities. This is an invitation into the lab that you don't want to miss. Very, very cool. So 5.3% alcohol and no IBU for hops.
None.
Straight to it, Crab. Straight to it. You've been to Norway and still there, plus born there. We have another viewer that's there. And it's actually a spot that I am interested in. I'm intrigued by it. And thank you, Shadow. If you want to, or you're like looking for aprons, there's the link for this site. One of our very good friends in Vancouver actually started this company on his own. And he makes all sorts of amazing aprons for artists, chefs, bartenders, baristas, etc. Yeah, beard game strong on this one. All right, guys. Little taster glass, little 4 ounce. Cheers. Cheers.
2, 4.
Oh, wow.
It finishes nice and sweet.
That is not that tart.
No.
Very fruity.
So get this, Cookie. We're driving down the road today, right? We're going to work. On the radio, the guy's like, it's Movember. And then Caitlin's like,
I think I didn't even say anything. I was just like,
Yeah, and I was like, no, not a chance am I shaving off my beard. No.
He's like, don't even think about it.
Nope.
You did it once. One time in Sammy's life, he had handlebar mustaches. Mustache. We didn't do 2 mustaches. There was only one.
There was only one mustache.
But there was 2 handlebars. Yours grows back in a month's cookie. That's perfect.
She's only a half ounce in, guys. It's gonna be
No, it's gonna get worse. You think I can't talk now? You would love this, Mrs. Syntax. It's more like a guava smell.
I agree.
And then the taste is more peachy.
Why spend money on razors when you can have this?
Yeah.
Right?
You just save money.
Right.
She's being economical,
See
really.
Bradley's like
Yeah.
big bushy tops. I'm like, yeah, Bradley, you're letting it grow.
Okay, guys. I don't know what time you would like to eat, but I think we need to wrap this up.
Wait, no! Over
A
here.
professional shave?
No, I need the beer.
Why? Oh. Have you ever gone for a professional shave?
Yes.
With like a straight razor?
Yes.
Cool.
It's a very good experience.
Sammy will get that for the wedding.
What?
This is from a local craft brewery called Category 12. And it's a special release New World Sour Ale. Sour Peach Guava. Really, really nice. It's 5.3% alcohol. And quite easy drinking. Definitely like summery vibes drinking this. Very refreshing.
All right, guys, pinkies out.
Okay, and now that we have beverages, we can continue working on our chowder. So starting with our mirepoix, onion, carrot, and celery. We're gonna cut those nice and fine. Aw, Aviator, are you starving? Chowder would be an all right thing to send. Skip the dishes. Across the world.
If only.
Imagine.
That'd be so cool.
It's like, where do you want to send this? To America. You're from England, so you approve the pinky. Yes. Yes. Where in England are you? I've been there before, so I might know. I might know where you reside. I love meeting people from around the world. I think that's one of my favorite parts about streaming. Endless opportunities. Newcastle. Okay, I did not go there. How do you feel about the Newcastle Deers? There's a $10.50 border charge to get into the USA. No, there's not. Are you crazy? Unless there is now. No way. That's pretty cool. You guys just found out that both of you live in the same spot in England. See what I mean? I'm not crying. You're crying. Actually, it's just because of the onion. Oh, in a semi. Cool. Are you a semi driver? Sam was talking about doing that later on in life, and that's how we would like kind of travel the world. Okay, so my onion cutting technique. If we go a little bit closer to this, you can see all the natural lines in here. So I always like to try and follow those. And then obviously it has a curve. And we want to try and follow the curve as well. And that way we won't get any weird chunks from the middle part of the root here. Sam's going like way in. So I'm gonna aim for anywhere from 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of cut size here. I always like to make a chowder like a little bit more delicate, especially at the vegetables, and then maybe we can keep the seafood a touch more chunky. Later in life would be best. Sweet. There it is, Sammy. There's the word.
Yep.
Yeah, did we just become best friends? Want to do karate in the garage? Oh man, this is a strong onion. I'm glad I did it first though. Get it over with, and then we'll be able to see again. So obviously this is not similar at all to a New England style chowder. And there is Manhattan chowder, so that's the more tomato-y based broth. What is there? New England, Manhattan, Boston clam chowder, so mostly clams in that one. And then this is a Pacific Rim chowder. What's your favorite, guys? What's the best one? Thank you for the follow. Shadow Badger Ichiban. You've already been doing karate in the garage? Oh, you've been cutting onions your whole life. Oh, cutting them wrong. Seriously, you guys should try this. In my opinion, it is the most efficient way to cut onions. And it's quicker too, obviously with practice. Okay, next up, let's get into our celery. So trimming off any kind of browned parts on the stalks. I'm gonna use 2 stalks of celery, not too much, but we'll get a little bit of fresh flavor from it. And then I always like to wash it before I cut it, because as we can see, the dirt likes to hide in the bottom part here. You've only ever had clam chowder. That is probably the case for most people. Salmon chowder is really delicious too. Probably because salmon is a pretty fatty fish. So you'll get more flavor from that. Yeah, extra crunch from the dirt. If you so desire, go for it. Okay, so we'll cut this into 4 to 6 inch lengths, and that'll make it really easy for us to chop. And I think I'll chop it into 3 pieces on the bottom part where it's thicker. Okay, I'm not crying anymore. Shadow, you and my fiance, who you just saw earlier on stream, are in the same boat.
Celery's the worst.
Yeah, he hates celery unless it is in stuff like soup or sauces,
No,
and
it's
then
only used and then
it's okay.
strained and then disappeared.
So this is not okay? I thought we need celery and chowder. It's really good with seafood.
I'm okay with it because you're making it, but I'm not okay with it.
He's okay with it, but not at the same time.
I'm not okay with it.
This is some mixed signals here. Okay, so we want to cut this around the same size as the onion. And that way, when we cook it all cooks at the same time. We don't have some crunchy pieces or some mushy pieces. Everything will be perfect. You can put that in with the onion, same bowl. Now, onto the carrots. Gotta peel those up. Even texture, yeah, exactly, Crab. Serious question though, what is a chowder? So I've always been taught that a chowder has to, one, obviously have some kind of seafood or shellfish in it, and two, it has to have potatoes. So it's a soup. It's gotta have seafood and potatoes, and then usually it has corn as well. And if it's like a really fancy one, sometimes it even has like bacon for like a smoky aspect. It is quite thick. So the New England clam chowder is the most popular with like, it's very creamy and heavy and thick, like a white kind of broth, I guess, for the soup. And then Manhattan is a tomato-y based one, like Admiral Pie. I have no idea what that is. Let me look this up. Admiral Pie. It might be like a fish pie. Kind of, but without the pie shell. And then the potatoes in the chowder are actually pretty chunky. So this is not a typical chowder at all. This is like a very West Coast style chowder with some Asian influence, just because we are close to Asia and there's a lot of Asian people that live over here as well. And to be honest, this is one of my favorite chowders because it's not as heavy of a soup as the other ones. Like the New England one, if you have a bowl of that, you are going to be stuffed. Like it's so, so rich and hearty. But it is delicious in the winter time if you're craving some soup. So same deal with the carrots, guys, is we cut them into 4 to 6 inch lengths and then make our little batons. And then we'll chop it all at the end. That is the most efficient way to cut stuff in the kitchen, is doing the same motions over and over. It's quicker that way than to like cut a couple of batons and then make the cubes out of it. If you started a Norwegian smokery, there would be people interested. Oh yeah. Smoked fish, like anything fish and seafood here is huge. We actually have two big green eggs out back, if you know what those are, if you're into smoking. So we're gonna be starting a smokery pretty soon here too. Eventually I want to turn this stream into a food truck. We'll be on the road every day. Okay, lots of veggies already. This is gonna be good. Okay, put that aside for now. You don't need to do anything just yet. I think it's more important that we carry on with our vegetables first. And then once everything is prepped, it'll just be so much easier to put our soup together. So Yukon Gold potatoes, nice thin skin. We're just gonna clean any brown parts off, where it looks a little bit damaged maybe. But for the most part, I really do like to keep the skin on these just because it is so nice and thin. And it's better for you too. Yeah, food truck. I don't want to be stuck in one location in a restaurant, and also it's very risky opening a restaurant always. So I thought it would be really fun to do a food truck. And that way you can find your own customers. You don't have to wait for them to come to you. It is totally okay if you don't peel them. I'm just peeling any bad spots off of it that I think would maybe make the chowder taste weird. All your free time you use to smoke meat and salt and cure meat and fish. That's amazing, Ree. What is your favorite meat and or fish to smoke? We are doing a pork shoulder tomorrow, and then we also picked up a beef brisket to do some pastrami in a couple weeks. We gotta get it into a cure.
Let me not do it tomorrow, I may do it Sunday when you stream.
What's that?
The pork shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Since it'll be gone tomorrow, that way I don't have to worry about trying to balance the plates.
Rent never ends. Yeah, exactly. A food truck can be paid off. Exactly, Crab. It just seems like a much smarter option, and people are very welcoming of food trucks here on the West Coast. So I think it would just be really fun for us. You thought pastrami was pork? It is beef. And it is delicious. Catfish? Yeah, it encompasses both my favorite seafood and meat, fish and cat. Wait, what? Hello, Dan. Well, this is a potato that I'm peeling. All right, so we cut our mirepoix quite small for the soup. The potatoes I like to leave a little bit chunkier just so they don't fall apart to nothing. I like to have a little bit of texture from the potatoes still. But also some people like to completely cook the potatoes down and let it thicken the soup that way. That is totally okay. But I like to have little chunks of potato, so we'll cut them maybe 1/2-inch cubes, the best that we can. A food truck caravan? Let's do it, Scaramouche. Like a traveling circus type of thing, except with food trucks. I'm in. I am so in. Do you make charcuterie? Charcuterie? Salted cured lamb, deer legs. Cool. Like you cure the entire deer leg. Almost like a prosciutto. This is madness. I think I can learn something from you. And so then you just keep all of that delicious stuff for yourself, Renor? Okay, now we make our little batons again. Travel from region to region, set up something with local farmers ahead of time, and take advantage of the local produce. Exactly. Okay, Scaramouche, let's start planning this. Sounds perfect. Keep a couple of them stacked up. It'll be quicker to chop. And so our next step here is I'm gonna turn on our soup pot, get some olive oil into there. And then we're going to start sauteing the carrot, onion, and celery first by itself. Start getting some caramelization happening, so we'll build some flavor by cooking the sugars in the vegetables and getting them browned a bit. And then we also have some garlic to put in as well. Closer to the end though, because garlic likes to burn really quickly when you cook it. So we don't add it at the same time as the mirepoix, we add it a little bit afterwards. And then we also have some coriander and cumin to put in as well. And it's always really good idea to kind of saute your spices with your vegetables a little bit in the oil, and that'll actually bring out more flavor. You can't sell it for government laws. That makes sense, Renor. Yeah, bartering. You just have to do trades. I will trade you some smoked salmon for some cured deer leg. I like that, Cleveland. Maybe we will add a little bit of white wine into the soup. I think that would be really, really nice. I also like cooking with alcohol. Beer could also be good in here as well. Just be careful that it's not too hoppy, because then it will make the dish bitter. Yeah, sounds like a nice trade. Hey, Aishat? You're too small and have a day job that takes so much time. Oh, man. Well, you got to figure out how to, like, make your side gig your real-time gig. If that's what you want, I guess. Okay. Potatoes for the chowder. Complete. You just got 400 channel points in one shot? What? I am going to be working on those this weekend when I have a little bit of time off and changing those incentives for those channel points because I'm pretty sure I can. Okay, quick sip of beer. Here's our little garlics. My fiance's mom grows these, and she lives on the other side of Canada and always sends us garlic at the end of the season. So this variety is called Deerfield. Did anyone hear about the rumor that channel points may be reset? No, I didn't. Did not. Why would they do that? Didn't they just launch it? Sometime in December. Seem mostly useless. That's what I've heard, Scaramouche, but maybe once I put my own incentives on there, it will be better. That's what I need to do. Yeah, let's hope it's just a bogus rumor. Let's hope it's just lies. These are the smallest little garlic cloves, but they do pack some punch. Yeah, imagine if your emote unlock lasted like a week to a month, something like that. Just like a little bit longer. Okay. Oh, it is still only launched for certain people. I didn't know. I did sign up for the beta, so we are some of the lucky few then. I thought everyone had it already. Oh gosh. Are there other ways of making the emotes last? But he meant like the fun ones. Thank you so much, Scaramouche, for gifting the sub to iShot. You guys are funny. 6 months in a row already, iShot. I was just saying to Sammy today, I was like, can you believe that it's been almost like a year since we got engaged and we're in New York? It's like, what? Yeah, Sammy gifted one for you, so you're just carrying on the generosity in the channel. Well, almost. In February. Like, we're creeping up there. Renor with the sub as well. Welcome in, guys. Welcome. Woohoo! February, yeah, it's still far away. I never think of it like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, February is already coming up. I'm like a month ahead of myself already. It's 1/4 of the year. Okay, that's like calming me down a bit. I just feel like I have so many things to do. Okay, so getting into like some of our canned pantry ingredients in this soup. So canned tomatoes, diced, and I think I want to leave them diced, nice and chunky like that. And as the soup cooks, they should fall apart a little bit. Our coconut milk. So these two things we can open up and get ready and just put aside because we'll be using both of those, all of it. I don't can my own tomatoes. Sadly, the heirloom tomato plant that I did plan on like using for canning, it didn't grow very well this year. So the canning idea kind of went out the window, and then I just ate whatever tomatoes did grow. I just ate them fresh. Yeah, the bears got to it. Who knows? I think the plant was just, it was a lemon. It wasn't a tomato. We got a lemon tomato plant. Just not good genetics. That's all I'm gonna chalk it up to. What makes a chowder a Pacific Rim chowder? So all of these lovely Asian ingredients that we're putting into it. So the coconut milk, there's also cilantro, chipotle peppers, which I guess is more Mexican, to be honest. And then coriander and cumin. Aw. Well, we hope to see you around a little bit, Renor, and thank you so much for subscribing. You didn't have to do that if you knew that you wouldn't be around very much. And I would love to actually question you a little bit off of the stream, Renor, about some of the things that you do, because that's very interesting to me. Okay. Love coconut milk. Second time we're using coconut milk on stream this week. So our corn, I just had frozen corn kernels that I took out at the beginning of the stream. So I'll put those aside. Those are good to go. They'll just get dumped in. And then something fun that we get to do together on stream is I thought it would be interesting to toast some spices with you and grind them up fresh. Because that is seriously the best way to have spices, is buy them whole like this and then only grind them up when you need them. And they'll taste so much better than the pre-ground stuff that you find in the store. But I think first, before we get into the last couple of steps, let's go over to this stove. I'm gonna turn this on to medium-high heat and get some olive oil in here. We need to get our pot heating up so we can get this stuff cooking. Just enough to really coat the bottom. We don't want to skimp on the oil here either, because then our vegetables might stick to the bottom of the pot, and we don't want that. Oh, I still have to fix that. Let me do this. Alert box, go up there. Okay, we're good. Ask you on Discord. Okay, perfect, thank you. This is the greatest username. R Silver Tit, thank you for the follow. Okay, Shadow, so this is what's gonna blow your mind. Coriander spice. So coriander is the seed of the cilantro plant. So when this plant flowers, after it flowers, it creates the seeds, which then we dry and use as spices. So we do use both terms. Because what, you guys in the UK, you just always say coriander, right? Corey Anderson. I shot. That's all you say. Interesting. I also like how you guys always call eggplants aubergines still, and then like bell peppers capsicum. I love that, because that's so from culinary school for me. The aubergine. Okay, we're almost hot. Let's get our soup spoon out. Oh, actually we are hot. So it's just starting to smoke. So mirepoix going in. It should sizzle right away when you dump it in the pot. Carrot, onion, celery. And this will take 5 to 10 minutes to cook properly. Because first the vegetables are gonna release a bunch of water. This thing is like trying to escape. So first they'll release the water, and then they will start to get a little bit golden brown. So we'll let that go, and then we can toast our coriander beside. And I might do this for now. That's better. I don't like that glare. You guys still do say bell pepper. Oh, okay. Because there's a couple of streamers from the UK that I watch, and they always say capsicum. Also, the beer at the start is perfect. That's usually just a Friday thing. And thank you for reminding me of that, because I need to refill my little glass. Well, thank you so much, Renor. It was great to meet you. I think we'll have some very interesting conversations in the future, because it seems like you very much enjoy food like we do. Okay. Let's get a little pan out. Yeah, wave that pinky in the air. Put it on this little burner. And I'll also go medium-high heat on that. Actually, I will pull it back here. So medium-high heat for our spices. Don't go any higher than that, because once the spice gets hot, it can actually burn really quickly, and then it will go bitter. So we'll take it too far if we do that. So don't go high heat for your coriander. Some of these still have the stems on it. I'm gonna do about half of them, because I do use this spice quite a bit. You've had a 61-hour work week and finding out you need to drive home and not having a beer. What the heck? I used to work those kind of hours in the kitchen, and I don't miss it, to be honest. Really been enjoying this like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday thing. And so we'll know that these are toasting up nicely when it starts to get fragrant. And also they might pop a little bit in the pan. Be like, what's that popping noise? Oh, it will be the spice. We got the jar waiting for us. And after this is toasted, I'm just gonna put it into a blender and then blitz it up really quickly. You're a construction worker. Okay, you know what? I left the restaurant to work construction, but I don't think it's the same type of construction as you. I do like mostly finishing stuff. Obviously, being a chef, I like to work with my hands, so construction is still really fun for me. Just a different style of work. So give this a swirl every couple of minutes so that it toasts evenly as well. Nothing happening in there yet. Let's give our veggies a stir as well. You're a plumber and a carpenter. You got some skills. That's awesome. How far are we from Vancouver? So if we wanted to travel to Vancouver, like right now, it would take us about 5 hours total trip. So it's like over an hour for us to get to the ferry terminal. And the ferry ride is like around 2 hours. And it's an hour to get into Vancouver or more depending on traffic. But it's like you never just get to the ferry on time because you have to wait and line up. So you always try and get to the ferry terminal like an hour or so ahead of time. Sometimes it's so busy that you get pushed back like 2 sailings. It's like, oh, I want to take the 3 p.m. ferry. You show up there and it's already full. And they're like, yeah, you'll have to get on the 7 p.m. And you're like, what? I have to wait here for like 4 hours? So yeah, like 5-ish hours. I mean, you could do a day trip if you want, because the ferry is only, I think, $13 for a walk-on. But it does take a little bit of time. It's quite a nice boat ride, though, I will say that. Okay, I'm gonna check our coriander. I'm starting to smell it. We don't want to burn our spice. I think that smells perfect. I mean, we could always go and see you, Scaramouche. If that is something that you're doing, like, let us know if you're going to be in Vancouver, because we can do that. But to be honest, I think you should come and visit, because it's nicer here. Just saying. You should just come here and then we'll take you to Vancouver and like give you a tour. I think that's what you should do. Okay. Toasted coriander real quick. Just show you guys. So super fragrant and it's like smoking a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of smoke coming off of it. But look, like, doesn't leave anything in the pan. We'll let that cool off just a bit, because if we blend this now when it's hot, it's gonna create steam. And then we don't want the spice to get wet when we blend it. So let that cool off just a touch. Hi, Rook. Oh, thank you so much for the 300 biddies, man. I hope you are having a good Friday. Oh, Aviator, it's true. Oh no, new Jack Ryan today? I know what I'm doing this weekend. Yes. Okay, Sturzy. Stir the mirepoix. Now I can turn this burner down. I can see that it's starting to caramelize on the bottom of the pot a little bit. So now that we got our heat up and rolling, I think we should first press our garlic into here. Get all the biddies out. Brother is on his way here to hang out. Nice. Well, thank you so much for the bits, Rook. Also, Sammy and I were lurking watching you play Rock Band, and you're so good at playing the drums. Like, if I was musically inclined, I think I would play the drums. That's what I always played when we played Rock Band as a family. I was like, I'm playing drums. But like, you play real drums. Once we put that garlic in there, it smells so good. Scaramouche, Jack Ryan gets better. Oh, you just got it working today. Sweet. Well, I'm happy that we watched it then. We've made tempura before, Crimson. Are you having issues? Is that why you're asking? 45 minutes. Well, it should be worth it though, hey Rook? It's probably pretty fun to play on a real drum set. Okay, so start our blender on low. This might be a touch loud. I don't know how the microphone's gonna react to this. Holy, good soup smells already. Trying to get this a little bit more fine. Just rip it. That is such a good smell. Like, I wish you guys could smell this of me opening the blender lid. Bunch stuck up there. Just tap it off first. Very limey smelling. You've never done it, just want to watch someone do it from scratch. Totally. We could totally do that. Nice, Rook. After 12 years, you're going to do some guitar stuff. You got some new parts ordered. Yeah, not rock band shit guitar. So cool, Rook. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Let me know when you have it ready and we'll have a little watch. Okay, so let me just reference this recipe quickly to see how much of the spices they say to put in. So 1 teaspoon of cumin and 2 teaspoons of coriander. Ground, both of them. So let's get some of this fresh coriander in here, 2 teaspoons worth. 1, 2, amazingly fresh. And then some cumin. Oh, that's awesome scaramouche. Twitch does have a really good music community. Like the whole Twitch Sings thing that they have going on. Okay, stir in our spices. Just let those cook for about a minute. That's all we really need here. Pull out some of the essential oils from them with the heat. And then some white wine for whoever wanted me to cook with it. Cleveland. White wine to do a little deglaze before we add in other aromatics. Hi, Polsh. Anytime you hear clam chowder, you think of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective? I'm trying to think of the chowder part in the movie. It is not coming to my head. All right. Little bit of wine. Probably just use the rest of that, really. Get all the brown bitties off the bottom of the pot. There goes that bottle. Oh, yes, yes, yes. That's right. Yeah, is that the red or the white? New England clam chowder. For all of you wondering, it's the white. Mmm. I like this wine edition. Good one, Cleveland. All right. So now I'm going to add the canned tomato, the coconut milk. Red is Manhattan. Red is Manhattan, I believe. What is there? New England, Manhattan, and then the Boston is just clam chowder, right? Okay, tomato. Coconut milk. Boston clam chowder. Sadly, we don't have any clams going into this, but that's okay, because it's not even called a clam chowder. We're having fun with it. Yeah, Scaramouche would know. If anyone would know right now in stream, it's Scaramouche and iShot. Ooh, a bottle of clam juice. The nectar. You prefer New England over Manhattan? I like the Manhattan with salmon. I like the red one with salmon in it. I find it goes really well with it, like salmon and tomato, just because the fish is fatty. Okay, so I have some chipotles in adobo here. So there's another ingredient in the recipe. I'm just gonna scoop out some of the sauce, and this comes in a can. So instead of me fooling around and trying to chop up the peppers, I always like to just scoop out the sauce and then use the peppers like blended up in a marinade instead.
I still remember the guidance tour in New York.
Scaramouche, Sam is reminiscing on you guiding us around New York. That was so much fun. It's like, no, you got to turn around. You're going in the wrong direction. You've gone too far. Get on your knee, shoe? Thank you for the follow. Let's give this a stir. Bring everything together. I am feeling like we need some more liquid in here. Whether it calls for water or some kind of broth. Okay, we have the corn kernels. We already used the olive oil, onion, carrot, celery, potato, garlic, coriander, cumin, salt and pepper, which we will put in there in a couple of minutes, crushed tomatoes, coconut milk, chipotles, cilantro. Okay, I'm just gonna add a touch of water, because you know what he did is he used canned corn, the chef, and he used the liquid from the canned corn, but I don't like canned corn. I think it's weird, so I'm just gonna add a touch of water. That was your first time in the stream, was when we were there? Amazing. Yeah, a beer. Still working on it. It's quite tasty. It's giving me life. It's getting a touch more tart as it warms up. Cheers, iShot. This is what Sammy and I are having. Sour peach guava. It's really good. What is redfish bluefish? So that is the restaurant where this recipe is from. It's here in Victoria, right on Fisherman's Wharf. It's called, so a dock that is on the water. And what the restaurant is, it's actually 2 recycled shipping containers, or also called sea cans, that they built the kitchen into, and then all they have is like patio seating around the sea cans. And it's only open during the summertime. So they actually had their last day of service yesterday. And yeah, their food is just amazing. Like the best fish and chips I've ever had. Other than, I was saying to Sam, other than when we had Gordon Ramsay fish and chips, because his were also amazing. Your old roommate bought all your home brewing gear. He gave you a dozen of the red ale from the kit you sold him, and it's honestly the best red you've personally had. Amazing. Redfish, bluefish, Polish. Redfish, bluefish. Yeah, what is this fish? Is that the fish that's going in the chowder? No. It's okay. We all derp sometimes. Oh, the beer and the sauce. We actually went with wine today, Renor. But maybe next week we'll cook with a little bit of beer. I always like to cook with different alcohols. Okay, so we're adding just a touch of water in here to loosen it up. If you wanted, you can add vegetable broth or chicken broth as well. Which I actually might just add vegetable broth instead. I think I'm gonna add a liter. But I'm gonna let that come up to a simmer. Yeah, more wine. Yeah, I'm surprised there's actually no dairy in here. Quite surprised. Because a typical chowder does have either milk or cream. Digging in the fridge. All right, so this is what I always like to use. If I am gonna use like a packaged broth, that's my favorite. Okay, Scaramouche, that makes sense. I was like, I thought you were in before that. This makes sense. Yeah, the entire kitchen is in the sea can. It's so cool. This is called Better Than Bouillon. So instead of it being like a powdered or very liquid kind of broth base that you can buy from the store, it's like a paste instead. And it's so, so good. Like when the first ingredient is vegetables, and so same thing with the beef version of this, the first ingredient is roasted beef. Like, you know it's real. It's not just a bunch of salt. Like Marmite, I guess the texture or consistency would be like Marmite, but this is basically just vegetables blended and condensed, I'm guessing. I don't know how they make it. It says dissolve a teaspoon into a cup of water. This is called Better Than Bouillon. I think you can get it in the States as well. Better Than Bouillon. You don't have that there. Dang. You know what, Polish, though? Beef broth is expensive to make. It's expensive to make beef stock. Okay, so there it is. That's what it looks like, mixed into the water. Okay, that looks way better. So yeah, very similar eye shot, but this is like real stuff. I don't like the chicken bouillon cubes because they're just so salty, and there's actually mostly artificial flavor in those. This is all good stuff for you. super salty, yeah. This one is not at all. It's more flavor than anything. Like carrot, celery, onion, tomato, potato, and garlic are all of the delicious veggies in here. Hey, thanks for linking it, Scaramouche. You found it. Yosh. Yeah, MSG. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna turn this pot back up to a medium-high heat. And then we're gonna drop the potatoes in and get those cooking, because that's gonna be the ingredient that takes the longest to cook. The seafood is very delicate, right? So it doesn't take very long to cook. That's something that you add at the end. And so I can bring out the seafood as well. We can get into that. MSG gives you weird tingles, Polish? What? Let's first pour out our fresh ground coriander. Yeah, was there a dispenser? I was actually shocked when we went to the bulk barn the other week that they actually had MSG that you could just scoop out of a bulk bin and like put into a bag. You're like, I'll take 2 pounds of MSG, please. Yum. You got all warm? MSG, monosodium glutamate. So it's a flavor enhancer. It opens up your taste buds. Yeah, mildly sauteed garlic. We actually didn't eat that much Asian foods when we were in New York. I wish we would have done like Chinatown. And I guess that just means we have to go back. All right, the sea foods. Okay, so locally caught shrimp. Just looking at the shell on that one, it was like all spotty. So this is from our friend who fishes, hunts, and also forages. So that's from Zach. He always drops us off a couple of goodies. So a couple of little local shrimps. Just caught down the road. That's delicious. And this is something that we previously cooked. So I roasted a pink salmon whole. And this is like one of the sides of fillets that we never got around to eating. So I just vacuum packed it. I was like, I'll save this for something else. So the salmon, all we have to do is flake it up into nice chunks.
I'm always peacocking.
He forages mushrooms. I don't know where Bradley got these. That's from our baker friend. Okay.
He smoked his own oysters.
Who smoked his own oysters. And maybe mussels? Yeah, home vacuum, exactly. The food saver. And then these. So this is something that is Canadian. So there's an Oceanwise symbol that I guess the government has created that. And that just means that it was fished sustainably, which is a very important thing out here because that doesn't happen very often anymore.
What's it called?
We are eating a pain au raisin. So translated from French, it's like a raisin bread or raisin pastry. So yeah, same guy that made the smoked oysters. He also has the bakery in his house. Yeah, Sam's name on it. No. Okay, so I think we have to drain some liquid out of these scallops. Renor wants to see the food saver, Sammy.
Food saver.
All sorts of local goodies. That's the food saver. We use it for all sorts of stuff, but mostly for packing meats and if we're gonna freeze something. Because when you vacuum seal stuff flat like this, you can fit so much more in the freezer and everything stays organized.
Has less chance of getting freezer burnt. Also, we circulate a lot of food in the sous vide or in the emergency circulator.
Yeah. Yeah, Renor, we have a Nova as well. Try the dry aged meat in it. What? What Sammy had looks like a circle version of a French palmier cookie. Totally. It kind of tastes like it too. That was just like very buttery and not super sweet. Really good. And that's why we like to get the treats from Bradley, is because he doesn't make stuff like overly sweet. Nice polish. That is so awesome. I think we're gonna start going to the gym. How many weeks, Sam? Couple months? 2 weeks. Oh, 2 weeks. A new gym is opening nearby. It's almost time. Time to be sore all of the time. Oh yeah, I forgot that we have to clean these scallops. That'll be a learning experience for some of you, I'm sure. There's our little bay scallops. So they're really, really small, but they're perfect for chowder because they're nice and bite-sized. You have to fork out money for a gym membership soon when you end up moving. Oh, are you? You still need to finish the drywall in your dining room. Yeah, Canadian going to the gym? Starting to be city folk? That's the thing, is the gym is in the city, so we still have to drive there. Okay. Our chowder that just has potatoes in it right now is almost at a simmer, so this is perfect. Okay, so scallops. Here is the interesting part about scallops. So you guys see all of like the little white pieces on all of the scallops in there? So that's called the abductor muscle. And that's what actually holds the scallop in its shell. But it's really tough. So we need to take that off. And it just kind of peels off from the side of it. We don't want to eat that. It's the not so good part of the scallop. So this is the hardest part about the chowder today, is cleaning our scallops. Yeah, rock hard abs. Exactly, Pauls. You used to work in Canada? Where at? That's really cool. You could probably use it for stock. That would be a good spot. But whether or not you have enough to really get any flavor from it, up to you. Yeah, no one cares about abs. We're just here for food. Oh, in Alberta. I grew up in Alberta for 23 years before I moved out here. So if you say that you worked in Edmonton, that's where I grew up. You are not US. It's true. You are Norway. Okay, Scaramouche. Have a wonderful weekend if we don't see you. And I'll be back on Sunday this week streaming. Medicine Hat, okay. Yeah, that's a little farther away. Just wanted to make sure the soup didn't boil over. You're looking at Ottawa, Polish? Really? You're going to Edmonton and living with a friend? That means you're closer. So you're just like inching your way over, Polish, until it's time to start the food truck, hey? I see what you're doing. Just planning for the future.
When is he going to Edmonton?
Like this year?
Well, we'll be in Edmonton in June.
That's true, Polish. I don't know if you'll be there next June, but you should be coming to our wedding then. Oh, amazing. That would be so much fun. A real life Polish. All of the Nordic are alike? In what way, Renor? Ooh, bless you. I shot. Oh. You guys want to check on the simmering soup? Perfect little simmer. Food, day and night. See, I knew there was a reason I was interested in Norway. You guys are just there for the food. That's like the best part about life. Food. Well, we are almost done this chowder. We're getting near the end. Just a little bit of work on these scallops and then we are almost there. So really, once we get everything cut up, it's quite a simple meal to prepare. Does anyone have any interesting plans for the weekend? Anything fun going on? Or just some R&R? You kind of want to make a stew, and so you should. Sunday dinner, that's what it's all about. put a pot on at like noon and you'll be having stew by like 5 or 6 p.m. Going to make food and drink stupid amounts of beer. Love it. Sounds like a very enjoyable weekend. Hey, Randy. I'm glad you can make it. Yeah, we're almost done actually cooking the chowder. We're in some of the last steps. I'm just currently cleaning some little scallops to put into here. Nice, beef jerky. We just made some deer jerky the other week back for our friend. We have this deal with him. He brings us stuff that he either like catches from the sea or hunts. And then we process it for him and we get to like have a little bit of it as well. Which is amazing. It's been really eye-opening to eat all of the amazing things that are wild here. The island is quite self-sustainable. Yeah, throw all the meat and veg in a slow cooker, can of Guinness, 6 hours, donezo. Yeah, slow cooker is the best way to cook without really paying attention to it. You know it's not gonna burn. Oh no, Paul. The power just went out. You having winds or something there? Is it windy? Oh, you're out in Arizona, Randy? You just make jerky by letting it sit out in the sun? That's how hot it is? I believe it, though. I believe it. You want to get deer, elk, and reindeer? Do you want to raise them yourself? Okay, done these scallops finally. Finally. Looks so good in the bowl. Just gonna wash my hands. I want to see how these potatoes are cooking. I want to make sure that they're not cooking too quickly at the temperature that we have the soup on. That is smelling good. Give that a little stir. Fishing for potatoes. Try one of these. Oh, it's already snowing there? Oh my gosh, Polish. I think we're gonna get more snow this year here. It's already pretty cool. That's really interesting, Randy. Phoenix, Arizona. I've heard it's really nice there. Okay, Renor, you get it from others. Yeah, it's really fun doing that. Okay, so turning that down, the potatoes have a slight crunch still, but they are also almost done. And because they're gonna stay in this pot when we put the seafood in, we don't want them to overcook. You had double the snowfall last winter. 300 centimeters. Last winter was 600. The heck? That is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna open up our smoked oysters. Mmm. Those are nice and small, so I'm just gonna leave those that size. But I think these bigger ones, we gotta cut down a little bit. So it'll just be too big to eat in the soup like that. Yeah, no rubbery scallops either. Don't want that. Okay, you guys have salmon up in Norway as well. This smells amazing. I don't think I've ever had homemade smoked oysters before. Mmm. Yum. Really nice, like, sweet and salty brine on it. That's gonna go so good in the soup. They're really freaking good. Pretty perfect little morsel of flavor. I don't think we need clams now that we have this. Rinse my knife off. Don't want that stuff to get stuck on. No fishy bits. Only oysters you've eaten have been canned? Oh goodness, you need to make your way out here then. Even though, yeah, you really enjoy them. Is it the, like, canned smoked oysters? Tried to eat the oysters in a salt brine and jar. Texture was disgusting and inedible. Oh no. Probably not the best, because they make it too salty, right? It's not gonna be near the same as if it was fresh. Canned smoked oysters. Yep. I know the ones that you're talking about. Okay, let's get our shrimps into here. Cutest little shrimps. I am not going to peel them. I feel like that would take a lot of time. So this is gonna be one of those things where you kind of peel it as you eat it. Have fun. We're eating with our hands tonight. Okay, so that's that. And then lastly, the pink salmon. I think the brand was Beaver. Really? Okay, maybe I don't know that here. We only have like really one kind of canned fish brand. I forget it because I haven't bought it in so long. Pardon? Yeah, what's the brand of the canned tunas and stuff? Oh yeah, Cloverleaf. I wanted to say Cloverdale, but I was like, no, that's paint. Cloverleaf. You heard rumor that most of the canned smoked oysters you get come from China and are polluted. I would say most fish is probably polluted by this point. Sad to say it, but that's the truth. Okay, I'm watching for bones in here as I'm seeing a couple. Definitely don't want that in the chowder. Like I said, I roasted this whole. So yes, there is going to be bones in it. But when we do that, we see all of them. And so this pink salmon, it's actually more similar to trout, really, than salmon. At least that's what I think of it. As far as texture and flavor, it's a little bit more delicate and less fatty than like a spring or a Chinook salmon. Crab, heck yeah. Chowder is just a good thing to use up like any seafood or shellfish. I think anything would go good with this. If it comes from the sea, I think you're good. Like even mussels would be delicious in here. But I would say crab is quite expensive, at least here for us. So like if you can afford it, then for sure put it in. But I think usually chowder is a way to like use up scraps. It was once upon a time the poor man's food. Dolphin? I guess. I mean, some parts of the world eat dolphin, right? Penguin. You guys are creative. Give them an inch and they take a mile. You eat whale? That is interesting. I mean, I know a lot of indigenous people in Canada eat whale, but it's not the norm. No one would bring crab to school because it was poor man's food. Yeah, and now look at it. Hey, Polsh. It's the same thing with lobster, though. Ooh. Found the surplus of bones again. Get out of there. That is a good amount of seafood that we're putting into this. Oh, there's some more. They're so small. I think we're good. But wait, there's more. All right. Pink salmon, all flaked up. And that's everything, right, guys? All right. So the soup's just on a really nice low simmer right now. Potatoes were almost cooked when I tasted them a couple of minutes ago. So I think it's safe for us to throw in the shellfish. Now I'm gonna turn this back up to medium heat. So I'm gonna do the scallops, smoked oysters, and shrimp first because none of that is really cooked. And then after that sits in the soup for a couple of minutes only, that's all it's gonna take to cook. Then we can throw in the salmon near the end because it's already cooked. So we don't want the salmon to get too dried out if we add it now. Drop that in. Yum. Shrimps and oysters. Ooh, almost forgot a bitty. Don't do that. So stir that. And then now is also the time Then I'm gonna chop up some cilantro and add that in. That is one of our last flavorings. Good old cilantro. One of the new roommates is allergic to eating seafood, so you just stuck with canned stuff. Best to play it safe, Posh, I would say. Usually seafood allergies are pretty severe. So that's why you're moving. No, I'm just kidding.
I has important news.
Yes?
9 weeks till Christmas.
9 weeks till Christmas. We don't need to know that. It was just Halloween.
Just let you know.
You're crazy. Oh, she's okay unless she eats it? Well, phew. Just picking the cilantro leaves off of the stem. And then we can taste our soup and just do one final seasoning. Maybe it needs a little bit more spice or probably some salt. Master of the Beard. I don't know what he's doing. I know he was playing Farm Simulator earlier. Very Canadian of us. Hi, Firebolt. How are you? I am making a seafood chowder from a local restaurant here who is pretty famous. The name of the restaurant is Redfish Bluefish. And it's kind of like an Asian-y inspired chowder. It's really, really yummy. Is this Pokimane? Nope. Last I checked, I was not Pokimane. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, gotta catch 'em all. We're cooking crabbies? Okay, this is already coming up to a simmer. Let's give it a stir. Look how good that looks. The shrimp cooks so quick because they're super small. Okay, salmon's going in. And I am turning this pot off so that the residual heat from the soup can heat it up. But I don't want to overcook this seafood. For sure not. And that is a very thick and hearty soup. Yeah, yum. So yeah, a little bit different from the regular chowder, where this is dairy-free. We use coconut milk instead of cow's milk.
Oh, you're not gonna put the cream in it?
I wasn't. I'll make something else with it. Plus, that wasn't ours anyways. That was from upstairs. They want to know how it smells, Sammy. Okay, I'm coming over. Okay, you taste it and tell me what it needs.
Quite a bit of salt.
Yep.
A little bit of lemon.
Salt, lemon, some more hot sauce.
Yeah.
More wine. And cream. Okay, well, it's not dairy-free anymore. Like a half of a lemon will be good?
Yeah. Did you add the oysters? Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Sam said it needed some lemon juice.
Yeah, the hot sauce out. Yeah. How much Charles did you put in?
Not very much. I put more of the sauce than anything. So some of our homemade Chipotle buffalo hot sauce. Stir that in. The finishing touches, guys. All of the love going into the soup. I'm liking the smoky aspect from the oysters. That's super good. Okay, and maybe...
You want to put the halibut cheeks in at the very end and just poach?
No, I'll save those for us.
Okay.
Okay, now. That's looking more like it.
Maybe just a little bit more salt. You can add more cilantro if you feel like it.
I was gonna garnish with a bit. I think we're there, guys. Because we've already had this from the restaurant, so we have this, a flavor memory bank in our mind from when we eat things. And then you recognize the flavors when you eat other things. So now we're trying to match this flavor to what we remember eating before. It's really freaking good, I will say that. Okay, I'm gonna go for a plate up. That's that. We did it, guys.
Peeled or no?
They're not peeled. So we're gonna have fun peeling shrimps.
Okay.
He's like, you didn't peel the shrimps for me?
I didn't say that. I just asked
I
if
know.
the shrimps were
I know.
peeled or not.
I used to work in a restaurant, so I was cooking professionally for over 9 years, and I just left this July to kind of get my life back. I didn't want to work on, first of all, I didn't want to work nights anymore. I didn't want to work weekends because I never saw my fiance. And I didn't want to work 12 hours a day anymore for $16 an hour. So I left working in a restaurant for a bit so I can save up some money and do my own thing. We have a lot of mushrooms dried already, Renor. Like a ton of lobster mushrooms. We have chanterelles dried. What else, Sam?
That's it.
That's it dried?
Yep.
Okay. Bye, Paul. Thanks for hanging out, man.
All the beliefs were shitty and Aiden.
Thanks, Cleveland. I'm glad you guys understand. It was risky and it was very hard, I have to say that, but I'm really happy with my decision and I feel like it's just bringing me closer to what I really want to do in my life. And this way I can also focus on streaming more. The risk is worth the reward. I think so. I really do think so. So because we're going Pacific Rim, I think I'm gonna plate it in this little wok bowl. Clean ladle, fresh out the dishwasher. Yum. Look at all the goodness in here. Definitely hearty. And we're getting a really nice smoky aroma from it as well. From both the chipotle peppers and the smoked oysters. Probably gonna do a bowl like that. That's enough to fuel me up. How about that? And then, to finish it off, just a little dusting of cilantro. Or, if you're in the UK, coriander. That way we have some that was like heated up and some that's fresh. Yum. Yeah, I'm so ready for this. Worked hard today. Okay, I'm just gonna take a quick photo. For those of you who are new, I do have an Instagram page where I am quite active. So if you're ever wondering like, oh, what's Kate up to? She hasn't streamed in a couple days. That's where you can check out what's been going on here. Or if you miss the stream and you're like, oh, I wonder what she made. It's a good spot to end up. Sorry, just gonna take a proper photo. Yeah. That looks happy. Okay, now the best part. We get to taste it. We get to have a taste. See how we did. Mix that up. Try and get some corn, potato, some salmon, scalloped, and oyster, or scalloped. Okay, and I hate burning my mouth. I'm just gonna cool that off for a sec. Very mild spice. Just got some sweetness from the corn, and like the smoky oyster together is so, so good. Even though we put coconut milk in here, you don't really taste it. So for those of you who are like, I don't really like coconut, I think you should still use the coconut in here. Just really rounds everything out, especially with adding both the cumin and coriander spices. The potato is perfect. Just kind of falls apart in your mouth, but it's still holding together in the soup. Oh, Randy, yeah, we opted for using our own Chipotle buffalo hot sauce instead of Tabasco. And yeah, bread would go delicious with this. I did put quite a bit of potatoes. Okay, let's see a shrimp. Cutest little shrimp. That tastes like the ocean the most. Really, really good. Okay, guys, we're wrapping up the stream. And I always like to go raid somebody after. Does anyone have any suggestions on who to go raid? Black and Shadow, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you, Kat. That's a very nice comment. Thank you for the compliment. Rate a music streamer. No, let's do it, iShot. Who do you usually watch? Adrian, he's playing games. Let's do it. I'm always down to find someone new. Gotta spread the love on Twitch.
Sprinkle, sprinkle?
Yeah, I did. You're good to go. Hojerific! Oh, you just missed it. Pacific Rim Chowder. Okay, let's do it, Randy. And so is that what you want to do, is the pork shoulder on Sunday instead? Okay, so we will be back on Sunday this week. We are smoking up a pork shoulder and we're going to make some pulled pork sandwiches with it. And we're actually doing kind of a little meet and greet with some people that live in our area that might be interested in like the food truck idea. So we want to give them some samples of the food that we make and just see what they think. We're not gonna charge them for it. We just want basically people to eat the food that we make and kind of get the word out that way. Stingfinity, hello. You can cook too. Most of your eggs are okay. That's a big one. If your eggs are okay, then you can cook. Yeah, you're a bit of a chef yourself. Amazing. Brisket samples. Yeah, come on over, iShot. You want to listen to it, but not sure if you'll be there. Oh, well, I hope you can. But if not, I'll also be back on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. So yeah, all of you newbies that found me today, which is amazing, check out my channel page because that's where I post both the menu for the week and the schedule. But schedule is consistent. Yeah, I do add all of the VODs to YouTube. So I think I have like, well, probably close to 300 on there now. He looks like a Braun Strowman. Sam. Okay, we're gonna go raid High Kicko Randy's friend because he asked very nicely. His friend is playing games. What game is your friend playing? Perfect. He's playing Don't Starve.
Oh,
okay,
such a
sweet.
fun game.
Yeah, we've played that before. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful night or day wherever you are in the world. And hopefully we will see you again sometime soon. And enjoy the weekend as well. Thank you for everything. Okay, good night, guys. Love ya. Good to meet all the newbies. Yeah, all the best. Take care.
Still have to wait 10 seconds.
No, it's 10 seconds now? Why is it 10 seconds?
Okay, bye everyone.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Bye.